The Rotarian President, fellow Rotarians, Board of Director, friend and guest of Rotary. I, Rotary Tunde Kari, will be taking the national anthem of Nigeria. Arise, O compatriots, Nigeria's call obey, to serve our fatherland with love and strength and faith. The labor of my ears shall never be in vain. To serve with heart and mind, one nation bound in freedom, peace and unity. Thank you. I leave the mic.
Yeah, please, can you take the Rotary Grace, please?
Okay. Oh Lord and giver of all good, we praise thee for our daily food. May Rotary praise and Rotary ways help us to serve thee all our days. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rotary Yetunde, for that wonderful performance. Earlier on, I'll say again, once again, I'll say thank you, our district learning facilitator, Rotary Guinea, for being around today. And also, once again, we have PGD Mark from District 6890. Also, we're speaking with us today. We have Rotarian Ayman Cole as well, who is also the partner. She's also as well today. She'll be also speaking with us. They are very, very good friends. And I want to welcome all Rotarians. So I'll be using the mic now to my very brother friend, the close to that president, Rotarian Agbolashion, to help us take the introduction of guests, friend of Rotarians and guests. Rotarian Agbola, please, I yield the mic, please. Is he here?
My president, Rotary Angola, is in the Rotary Foundation meeting.
Okay.
And they said maybe if we couldn't join earlier, I should take it up on his behalf.
All right.
So
thank you so much.
Go ahead.
Yeah, please go ahead, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My Rotarian president, district officers in our midst, my powerful AG, Rotarian Chami, you are recognized, ma. Fellow Rotarians, friends and family of Rotary Rotaractors. I remain Rotarian Ganiat Tijani. I want to recognize the powerful Rotarians guests that have joined us to fellowship us this evening and fellowship with us. And let me start from Able AG, Rotarian Chami. You are already recognized, ma. Thank you for joining us. I want to recognize Rotarian Mike and spouse, Rotarian Imako. Also, I'll recognize Rotarian Mary Nin Lamiwa from Rotary Club of Maryland. Thank you for joining us. Also in the meeting with us, our own Rotarians in the house. We have Rotarian Holaifa, our powerful secretary, Rotarian Jaguman. Rotarian Olayinka Jegbe, you already recognized. Rotarian Kwemi Kogeyimbo. Thank you for the beautiful mental awareness lecture you gave us last fellowship. Rotary Oluwatobi Uze, you already recognized, sir. And Rotary Antoyose Adebambo, thank you for the powerful project executed at Nasarawa. This the immediate week we finished. Thank you very much for making us proud. And Rotary Yetunde, you already recognized, ma. My president, I yield the mic.
Thank you so much, Rotarian Ganiat, for that quick introduction. Next on the agenda, we go to the forward test of the things we think, say, or do, which can be profitably applied to everybody that we have in our relations and everything we do. So permit me to invite Rotarian Evelyn is available. So permit me to invite the secretary to please take the forward test of the things we think, say, or do. Secretary, please, I yield the mic, please.
Thank you. The the president, the district representatives, our guests, fellow volunteers in civil service to humanity, Rotarian Ajagumam, the club secretary, being given the privilege to take the 4-way test. The 4-way test of the things we think, say or do. 1, is it the truth? 2, my president,
Is it fair to all concerned?
if it is fair to all concerned. 3, my vice president, ma.
Will it be good or better friendship?
Thank you for that. If it will be good and better friendship. Lastly, will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you, my president.
Thank you so much, Secretary, for that beautiful performance. Next on the agenda, because we want to make it very fast with our lecture, that's the most important thing for today. During the course of the week, we sent out the minute for the last meeting. I believe Rotarians, they've read it to details. And if there is no observation, there is no correction, there's no adjustment, I want to please ask Rotarians to please move a motion to adopt that minute to become an official document of the club. I yield the mic, please.
Rotarian President, the Vice President, Board of Directors, our guests, we have visiting Rotarians, district officers, friends and guests of Rotary International Family. I'm Rotarian Olaifa. I hereby move the motion for the adoption of the last meeting minutes at exactly 8:39 p.m. tonight. Thank you, my President.
Thank you. A seconder, please. Seconder.
I Gani, hereby second the motion.
Thank you so much, Vice President Ganiyat, for seconding that motion. So next is we have the President's time. One thing I want to say, thank you once again, all Rotarians, for being here tonight. We're still expecting others to come, but we can't waste. We are Rotarians and we deal with time. One thing it's I must appreciate every one of you. Last week was fantastic. We had a project in Nasarawa State with a huge attendance and a huge participation, and we are able to affect those environment positively with our projects. Down the line, we will have some updates, and today we are talking about polio today. And we have high-profile Rotarians in our midst that will be sharing their knowledge with us. So let us be prepared. Let us put on let us get our notepads, our pen to jot things down, because we're going to learn from them. And on that note, I want to yield the mic to Rotarian Yinka Ajaybe to be the moderator for tonight, to help us channel this discussion, this presentation, so that we can learn from it. So Rotarian Ajaybe, are you ready for us?
Yes, I'm ready.
Thank you so much. I yield the mic, Ajaybe. Please, you can pick up on it. Thank you.
My club president, members of BOD, PAG in the house, sorry for not recognition, PDG in the house, Rotarians, guests and friends of Paul Fassi Ari. I'm Rotarian Ajaybe Abdulkadir Inka. I'm to moderate this section for this discourse. This evening, we are having can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. This evening, we are going to have a discourse and a topic discourse on topic, let's kick polio completely out of the world. And that will be taken by Rotarian Leo Igini. Please, pardon me if I didn't pronounce your name properly. I'm a Yoruba man. Leo Igini. So the lecture will be taken by Leo Igini. But first and foremost, I'd like to take the citation of the guest speaker. Here is the profile of the district's learning facilitator, PAG Leo Imonisa Igini. Rotarian Leonard Imonisa Igini is the MD and CEO of Prime Medic Nigeria Limited, a firm that specializes in sales and service of medical equipment. He is also the MD and CEO of First Choice Diagnostic Center Limited, among others. He's a graduate of University of Benin in 1989 and joined the Rotary Club of Nasarawa, Kano in November 1995 with the affiliation of pharmaceutical marketing. In his continuous active service in Rotary, he is a district learning facilitator for District 9125 for 2023-2024 Rotary year. He served as the president of Rotary Club of Nasarawa, Kano in year 2021 to 2022 and 2019 to 2020. He has served in various capacities at district level, among which is the chairman district community service 2020, the COVID year to 2021, chair district alumni 2017 to 2018. He chaired district membership attractions and engagement 2016 to 2017. He chaired district youth exchange 2009 to 2010 and 2014 to 2015. Assistant governor 2012 to 2013. In 2009, he served as the team lead of the group studies exchange team at Alberta, Canada. PAG Leo Igini is a major donor to Rotary Foundation and a past chairman, International Fellowship of Chess Playing Rotarian. With all pleasure, I present before you our lead discourse, past president, past acting assistant governor, DLF, Rotarian Leo Hi Igini. You are the floor, sir.
Thank you very much, fellow Rotarians. Hello, is everyone hearing me?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Yeah. I want to special salutation to the president, Rotarian Benga Ofi. I think we started having some discussions before pets.
Yes.
And that's how the name just stuck in my brain. And I think I also know a few people there, Shike and Alaja that covers her hair. I can't remember the name exactly, but greetings to everyone in the house and to my assistant governors in the house and other district chairs. I bring you greetings from Kano. Today we're looking
my DLF,
at...
sir, you will smile to charity for not remembering my name, sir.
No problem. We are looking at the challenge we're facing with polio in Nigeria. And I guess I have 15 minutes to look at this topic. I'll discuss this topic with us, and I'll try to be as brief as possible and remove so many unnecessary technical jargons that I would have used in a different fora. Before we move further, I will just ask, what is polio? Or what is poliomyelitis? Polio is a highly infectious viral disease that largely affects children under the age of 5. The virus is transmitted by person to person, spread mainly through fecal oral routes, or less commonly through a vehicle such as water or contaminated food too. It multiplies in the intestine, and from where it can now invade the nervous systems and cause paralysis, of which that is what we know it for, the final effect. As we all know, there is no cure for polio. However, it can be prevented. And the only way we know now for preventing polio is via vaccination or immunization. 2 types of vaccines exists the oral polio vaccine that was developed by Dr. Sabin and the injectable type that was discovered by Dr. Jonas Salk. The oral one is the one that is generally used or commonly used for immunization, especially in this part of the world. But the injectable one is also becoming common, especially when you're having polio combined with other vaccines, the so-called divalent, pentavalent vaccines. We will not go deep into all that now. Types of polio. Generally, you'll be hearing terms like white polio virus type 1, type 2, type 3. There are 3 types of polio viruses. The white polio virus type 1, type 2, and then the type 3. Symptomatically, all of them, all the strains give the same irreversible paralysis, and in some cases, even death. Now, Rotary had been a pioneer in the fight against polio. And in 1970, we are starting as way back as 1978. In 1979, a pilot program was done in the Philippines, where over 6 million children were immunized. And under the so-called, then we're having a program known as the 3H program. I don't know how many Rotarians remember that, the Health, Hunger, and Humanity program. The funding came from there, which is now taken over, known as the Global Grants now. And that pilot program was so successful that the WHO and other organizations became interested in it. And in 1998, the World Health Assembly agreed that there should be a global fight against polio in the world. And the Rotary International launched the Polio Plus in 1985. And from there, they were able to sponsor that particular resolution at the at the World Health Assembly, which was now supported. From 1988, it has now become a global fight, and Rotary had been in the forefront of this battle, collaborating with other government agencies, because, of course, you need the government to be able to do it. We're talking of the UNICEF, United Nations Children's Fund, the WHO, and of course, the governments of the different countries through their various ministries of health. All countries concerned, of course, nobody wants polio, keyed into this program, and we were at the forefront of this particular fight. The main group that was now formed to fight this polio eradication is known as the Global Polio Eradication Initiative, GPEI. And through the decades and commitment and work of Rotary and our partners that I've also mentioned, more than 2.5 billion children have received the oral polio vaccine, and over $1.8 billion have been committed by the Rotary Foundation to this particular project. Now, in fighting polio, or in the course of eradication, what are the pillars of which we base our eradication efforts? One, we look at routine immunization, making sure that these vaccines are available at primary healthcare centers, secondary healthcare centers like general hospitals, and of course the tertiary ones like the teaching hospitals. Mass immunization, mass polio immunization drives. There we have special days that we select or fix for immunization, and then we'll now call on people or make arrangements for people to be immunized within that period. Surveillance to detect the disease. We have people that have been down on the field, and their job specifically is to detect do surveillance concerning the disease. Should they notice or hear of any suspected case, they take up the matter, samples are taken, and they sent to appropriate laboratories in any part of the world to find out the cause of the disease. And in some cases, we've even been able to detect where the particular serotype came from. And then mop up here we have situations where we now gather, look at specific areas that have challenges, and then we do a mop-up immunization there. Coming back to Nigeria, how was polio eradicated in Nigeria? What were the strategies that were used by the National Polio Plus Committee, which was now formed to fight against this particular disease? Two ways were primarily looked at. One was raising awareness about the disease, because a lot of Nigerians never knew what polio was, what concerns them with polio. In fact, we go to the field sometimes and you see people tell us, I never chop it, they tell me about polio. So Rotary was able to raise awareness of polio from a very low percentage to a near high percentage right now, that virtually anybody that has access to one form of communication or the other will know something about polio. Two, advocacy. In areas where you have challenges, talking to people and getting them their commitment now to now take this vaccine have also been, is one area that Rotary has also looked at. We have been able to work with traditional rulers around the country. In the whole North, there's a council of traditional rulers. Each emir gives a representative to Rotary that, look, this is the person that will be from this particular kingdom to take care of these issues relating to polio eradication. And then with these people, if there are issues in a particular ward or a district, they're able to help talk to the district head or the ward head, and then together we're able to get their commitment towards taking the vaccines. And of course, we also have community mobilizers. We have talked of the traditional rulers, then frontline workers, who are those who actually are in the forefront of giving these vaccines. It may interest you to know that some of them have actually paid the, how is it put now? Have actually died in the course of their duty, trying to give immunization in areas where you have banditry and all these Boko Haram and co. What were the challenges that were faced? One, difficult terrain and environment. We all know the kind of environment we have here. In areas like Bayelsa and Co, and some parts of Kwara and Niger states, having to go through the River Niger or River Benue or go through the creeks to be able to get to hard to reach places to be able to give the vaccines. Inaccessibility due to insecurity. We all know about the issue of banditry and Boko Haram in the northern parts of the country, and that has been a very difficult challenge. But despite that, Rotary has still been able to go into areas that people have thought were inaccessible. PDG Joshua Hassan and PDG, our new trustee, PLE Joma, have taken helicopter into Maiduguri, difficult areas, to be able to immunize hard to reach places. Then population displacement, of course, as a result of whether environmental issues like flooding or banditry, etc. You see people moving from one particular locality to another. So if you've prepared to meet them at this place and such a thing happens, what do? You start trying to track them where in the new place they've gone, and some of them may have dispersed. So these are challenges that we face on the field. And then destruction of health infrastructures as a result of banditry and some other things. You see health centers are destroyed, no personnel to man those things, and routine immunization, of course, cannot take place in a place that is already destroyed. Then block rejection of vaccines due to felt needs. In fact, the block rejection, I'll put it in two forms. One is due to felt needs, also due to people giving wrong information about the vaccines. Block rejection of vaccines due to felt needs is as a result of people who feel that vaccination is not their problem. We don't have water. There's no good road. We're having challenges with some things. There's no primary healthcare center here. Our wives travel several kilometers to deliver children, and you are telling us to take vaccine. We don't want your vaccine. Please go away. Of course, our advocacy group will now go into it, look at what can be done in areas where they even say there's no pipe, there's no water. The National Polio Plus Committee have gone into those localities, and in some cases, it's not our job, but then we have done some things like giving them, digging boreholes for them. I know of several areas in the north. In Kano here, it has been done, like 2 or 3 localities I know that the NNPPC have done and donated boreholes to, because they said it's water that is their problem, not vaccines. And as soon as that was done, of course, they accepted. And then now they do routine immunization there that nobody even thinks of, the former challenges that we have faced there. Then the second one is people who give wrong impression. One of them is anti-Islam. We had a problem from the chairman of the Council of Ulamas in Kano, and they gave this thing of, based on the fact that this particular vaccine causes infertility and some other things, and it is not what they will accept. Incidentally, the chairman of the Council of Ulamas, the grandchild, when the daughter gave birth, I was the one that supplied vaccines to him because he's a medical doctor. I personally took the vaccines to him because he called me. Anyway, part of the work I do too, I'm also a human vaccine expert, in addition to being a public health person. So I took the vaccines to him, and I'm now wondering, why would this man immunize the grandchild? And at the same time, is the one leading the crusade that this vaccine will cause fertility issues. Anyway, that was resolved amicably thanks to the then chairman of the National Polio Plus Committee, and they all work assiduously towards resolving all those issues. Dr. Funshaw was on ground, and we all went around to see those that we needed to see, and that issue was put to rest. Eventually, everybody now knows that it doesn't cause any fertility issue, and it is safe for use. And in fact, the Emir of Kano that was there, His Excellency Alhaji Mohammed Sanusi, took the vaccine to show people that it is safe. He put it in his mouth. So if Emir can take the thing and show that, of course, what are you talking about? So with support of people like this, we've been able to handle such things, challenges that result from rejections of vaccines on the field. The National Committee is also facing funding challenges. We thank God for the Rotary Foundation for what they have spent in Nigeria and what they are bringing in. In addition, the Bills and Melinda Gates Foundation have also done a lot towards supporting this. And local financiers too are also coming up too. The Dangote Foundation, etc., are being looked into. Then the biggest problem, even though it doesn't look like a problem, complacency. Shebi they've certified us that we don't have polio again. And why should we need to immunize our children? Once that sets in, if we don't take time, only one case will set us back again, and we start going through all the wahala that we have done over 30 years. Now, what is expected of us as Rotarians in the fight against polio? Simple. On any immunization day, register with the state polio rep, and then you'll be given a particular locality to cover. As early as possible, you are at the cold store to check the quality of vaccines that are coming out from the cold store. Make sure that they are safe for use. You follow a team to a particular ward to find out what is happening at that particular ward level. If you are a fast worker, you may be able to cover a number of wards depending on the area a day. Sometimes the ward may be so big that you may, and the work may be tedious there, especially if there are issues on ground. So Rotarians are to go there and then help the community mobilizers to mobilize people, encourage the frontline workers to be able to give the vaccines, and make sure that they actually do, because some people will go to a particular building and just mark put the necessary mark there that they have immunized children there. And they never entered the house. So if you are a Rotarian that is on the field, you can enter a building and ask questions. Has anybody come here today? You check what is on the wall, if people have actually come. If they have come and then they indicated on the wall that they have been here and they have immunized children, you now walk in and ask questions. Did anybody come here? If they say yes, then of course, good work done. If they say no, you note it down and then you look for the team in charge of that particular street or locality and address the issue with them. If possible, get them to go back to that particular household and immunize the children there. Because in the fight against polio, no child should be left unvaccinated. Then, in registering for the same thing for the field work, you also, now there's a new system to confirm that people are on the field. There's a software known as ODK. I repeat, ODK. You can download this from your Google Store, Play Store. So with this ODK, it's a software that once you have service, internet service there in any locality, and you activate it, it will indicate where you are, the particular place you are. And somebody at the national office, EOC office, national, will know that the so-so person is here, may not even know your name then until you now write your report and send. But will know that there's so-so person here. Because a number of times we will say we're on the field, 50 people, 50 Rotarians will say they're on the field, and probably maybe it's only about 5 that actually went around working. And in those days when we give small disbursement, you see some people collecting money and not actually doing any work. But with the ODK, we know if you're on the field. We even know all the places you went to, in as much as there's internet service. And then at the end of the day, you send in your reports there. When you are done with the day's job, next step is to now go to the local government. There will be a meeting there of all those who worked in that particular local government. At the end of the day, the report of that particular meeting, you can now write your own report and submit to your club and also to your polio rep for the states. However, if you want to go a step further, you can even attend the state's EOC meeting. And then there, everything about the states is discussed. All the challenges faced. If you have a major challenge and you feel, look, it cannot be tackled at the local government level, please feel free. You will be given audience. You will tell them about the challenges, what you saw on the field. And people will take notes. The representative of the WHO will take notes. UNICEF will take notes. Rotary is taking notes. Of course, you are talking as a Rotarian. And the state government, to the primary healthcare coordinator and all, will take notes. And you can follow up by the next time to find out if that thing had been addressed. And if we're able to do all this, of course, our ability to do most of all this, if not all, had led to our being declared polio-free on August 25, 2020. How many people celebrated this? I know so many Rotarians that pop champagne. Well, I took one bottle of Big Stout here. So to celebrate that, and right now in the fight against polio, Pakistan, because before it was the two stamp, Pakistan and Afghanistan, they were still taking us back worldwide. Pakistan has been certified free of polio, of the white polio virus, this year, 2023. And it's only Afghanistan now that have a challenge. I want to say thank you to you guys for giving me audience to share with you some few thoughts about polio eradication. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for the well-delivered lecture. We really appreciate your lecture, and we hope when next we call you, you're going to oblige to our call. Thank you very much for the lecture. So, is there any Rotarians? Is there anybody that wants to ask any question? It said that we should put our question at the comment section. but I'm not seeing any question. But if you have any question, please, you can please indicate so I can ask question briefly so that we can move ahead. Any question? Since there's no question, I think we have to move ahead. Thank you very much, sir. You can stay around till we're going to finish the meeting. Please hang around and enjoy the rest of the lecture. We still have one more lecture before we go this evening. So you can please stay around and listen to our lecture. It's good having you around, and we appreciate your lecture. It's indeed a well-delivered lecture on Polio Plus. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
Rotary E Club, thank you.
So our next presentation, we have, we have another lecture on what we need to know about Rotary and polio. Of course, we know it's a Polio Plus month, Rotary Foundation month, and week of month. And so we're going to have our next lecture, which will be delivered by past District Governor Mark and his spouse. Rotarian guest and friend, I would like to take the citation of our guest speaker, the next guest speaker. This is going to be a joint brief provide for past District Governor Mark Skonik and his spouse, Hema Cole. Mark has been a Rotarian for 50 years. He was District Governor 2020-2021. He has been District Foundation Chair since then. This past year, he was honored to receive his Rotary Forward Test Award. Hema is a club public image chair and serves on the District 6890 Public Image Committee. She is also a member of our club's fellowship program and foundation committees and sitting on the board of directors. Both Mark and Hema are members of Lake Land Rotary Club in District 6890, which is in Central Florida. They are Polaris Fellow, Major Donor, and Polaris Society member. They have enjoyed attending several Rotary International Convention, and they are looking forward to see everyone in Singapore next year. And may I as well add that I think they should be the founder of a Rotary Clubhouse. There's a clubhouse group. There is a Rotary Clubhouse that is normally held on Saturdays, and they've been the founder. Probably they've been the moderator of this section. Rotarian guest and friend, I present to you past District Governor Mark Skonik and his spouse Hema Cole. They will be our next guest speaker. I think. Are you available to take the lecture now?
Yes.
My opinion, sir.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can, loud and clear. I can hear you loud and clear.
Good.
Please, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us. And thank you, past District Governor. That was a great, really stunning lecture about polio and what's happening in your country. What I have is general polio information. And I can remember when Rotary started with the polio effort, when they first sent out a letter to each club asking for money so they go to WHO. And the club in Lakeland that we belong to now really came through and did an outstanding job in that effort. So what do we have? We have polio in two countries, Afghanistan and Pakistan. And when we started, there were 350 children a year that were crippled from polio.
350,000.
350,000, yes. And year to date, there are 9. Now, if we keep doing what we're doing, we are gonna beat polio. When Rotary goes after a disease, steps of finishing off polio, and we need everybody's help in doing that, as your previous speaker said so eloquently. Get the match from the Gates Foundation to help fund this. The Gates Foundation has a contract with Rotary that if we raise $50 million worldwide every year, they will match it 2 to 1, and they will give us $100 million. So the mechanics of that are our year ends in June. By August, we know exactly what we have raised. And so far, we've done it every year. We notify them, and then in January, they wire transfer to our Rotary Foundation $100 million. And everybody celebrates. It's just a fabulous thing, because this polio program, as the previous speaker said, we monitor, we have 146 labs throughout the world that do 250,000 tests a year to keep the virus at bay. So if they find something in a water supply, in the child's excrement, they can find out, and they can trace back to exactly where it's coming from. It's a fabulous, fabulous thing, but it cost $1,100,000,000. There is no other organization in the world that can do what we have done with polio so far, and we should take great pride in that. And it'll be even bigger pride when we're finished, because we are non-religious and non-political. So we have the doors open to every government. Let me tell you a little story. One of the Rotary Foundation trustees is Aziz Mehmet. And if you haven't heard of him, he is a hero in the polio world. So Aziz is in Afghanistan, and he was on the polio committee in Afghanistan, still is, and he went to a cleric and said, we have to get the Taliban involved in what we're doing, and I want to meet with them. And his friend, the cleric, said, you must be crazy. Here you are, a man who's had a successful business career, you have a lovely family, you should be taking it easy, and you want to do a dangerous thing like meet with the Taliban? You are crazy. He had to convince him to do that. Like all Rotarians, he probably bought him lunch. So the cleric got back to him in a couple of weeks and said, okay, they're going to pick you up at a certain place at a certain time. And Aziz went there. They picked him up. They put him he went in the car. They drove him around. And they got to one place. And then they had him change cars. And they put a blindfold on him. And they drove him around some more to another place where they put him in another car, and they drove him around some more. And then they went to this place. He still doesn't know where it is. And he went before the council and told them why they should help us fight polio in their country. And the short answer is they have children just like we have, children and grandchildren just like we have. And they kept saying to him, get the Americans to stop dropping bombs on us through drones, and we'll do it. And he kept telling them he had no control over that. And this went on for a while. I wasn't there, fortunately. Went on, and then they said to him, okay, go in the other room. So they had a meeting. And they called him back and they said, okay, we will provide security because we have children and grandchildren and we want them to have this vaccine. So that's how the Taliban started to provide security for our workers. And as the previous lecture said, we have these people that don't want this vaccine and they don't want to give it to other people. But we conquer that through information, and we do a lot. I think that the last thing I could do is show you a video. I'm not going to do it. My wife is. Show you a video of how this has progressed over all these years. And let's see. Irma, can we get the video up?
I'm going to try.
Okay.
Keep talking.
Keep talking. Okay.
Yeah.
So how Rotary got involved was everything in Rotary happens at the club level. So in the Philippines, two Rotarians got together, probably over lunch. And they said, you know, we have a real bad problem with polio in this country. Why can't, and we know there's a vaccine, let's see if we can get the Rotary Foundation to help us knock out polio in the Philippines. And they went to the foundation, and they must have been good salespeople because they got it done. They got the vaccine, they set up a program, and they did it. Then Rotary leadership, Rotary president, went to the WHO and said, we want to do this for all the children in the world. And WHO said, what are you? You people have never done anything like that. You know, where are you going to get the money? And put up all kinds of roadblocks. So they said, well, how much money will it take? So they said, probably 100 million. Well, through the 4-H program, they raised 170 million. They went back to the WHO and they said, well, yeah, but you don't have an infrastructure in that. And then they went back and said, look, we got all these Rotarians. We got 750,000 Rotarians in the world. We can provide the boots on the ground. So the third time they went back to the WHO, they said, yes, let's do it. Let's do it together. And then they picked up UNICEF, Gavi, who provides vaccines for countries that are very, very poor. And then in 2002, I think it was, we got the Gates Foundation to help us with the match. And we're doing it. And we keep pushing them, all our partners, to join together. And Irma and I were at the Atlanta convention, and countries came up and brought checks and promises of money to help do this, because it is not only just a humanitarian effort, but it's an economic effort. If you don't have to take care of those poor children that are crippled, they can be citizens that give back to the economy of their country. So everybody wins. So it looks like Irma's ready.
I'm going to try it. Okay. So this is a video that we found actually online, and it's from Great Britain. So the speaker has a bit of a British accent, but you all should be able to make that out fine. And it really does a great job in covering the history of Rotary's involvement with polio. There's some great visuals in it, and so we wanted to share that with you all. So here we go.
This is the story of Rotary's dream of a world free from polio. Disease which has been endemic in all countries of the world for thousands of years, left millions of people in the 20th century with permanent disabilities. Although cases of infantile paralysis have been rare, outbreaks of parasitic polio began to be seen at the end of the 19th century in rich countries such as England or America. first polio vaccine was licensed in 1955. The mass vaccination of the population in rich countries dramatically reduced the number of polio cases. By the 1980s, the disease had been eradicated. However, hundreds of thousands of children were still suffering in poor countries, especially in Africa, the Middle East, and Asia. In 1979, the first seeds were sown of what would become Rotary's greatest humanitarian achievement, when 6 million children in the Philippines were immunized with oral polio vaccine. The following sequence of slides charts the progress of Rotary's campaign to eradicate polio and highlights significant events along the way.
Oh, there it is, 2007.
Yeah.
Here you go, guys.
Yay.
Woo!
Yeah. Awesome.
Good for you guys.
Great.
Thank you.
I'm sure it wasn't easy.
Okay, so that's old. That figure is from 21.
Raised or donated millions of dollars, or voluntarily given literally billions of hours of their time. Bill and Melinda Gates, whose faith in Rotary led them to commit their vast wealth to the campaign. The community volunteers, many of them women, working on the front line in so many countries, often in the face of great difficulty and sometimes danger. The healthcare professionals and scientists whose expertise has been so invaluable, and the many governments, including those of the UK and USA. Although victory is in sight, the battle is not yet won, and to relax our efforts at this stage could lead to the return of polio and hundreds of thousands of cases within just a few years.
Pretty powerful stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a really good one. Mark always likes to say polio is just a plane ride away. Here in the United States, there hasn't been a case since the late 70s. So people really think, like, why are we talking about it still? What does it matter? Why is it important? And so we have to spend a lot of time reminding them that if we don't eradicate it, within 10 years, there'll be another 200,000 cases every year. And it'll just come flying back. It's a plane ride away. Some child who's carrying the disease could come to Florida to visit some family or to go to Disney or to move here. And it's going to spread. It's very easily spread. The thing that people don't understand is that this disease is incurable, but we have a vaccine for it. So there's a lot of arguments to be made. And I applaud you guys and what you've done in your country to make it go away and to keep it out of there. I mean, that's a lot of work. So the other thing, besides thanking all your donors, is to make sure they understand where the money goes, how their money is being spent, that it's not just to buy the vaccine. Of course, the price you saw in that video is a little outdated, but the money goes to buying vaccine, but it also goes to research. It goes to support the laboratories. It goes to sample the water supplies. It's to build that infrastructure with the volunteers. I can give you some examples. I read some of these yesterday on Clubhouse, and they're kind of stunning. In Pakistan, they spend money to support 187,000 mobile vaccinators and 400 Union Council polio vaccination support officers. Well, that's got to cost some money. In Afghanistan, there are stipends for 56,445 vaccinators, 630 mobilizer vaccinators to promote community dialogue and address barriers to vaccination. Read between the lines on that one. The barriers are false information, and they need people to have dialogue with people. You're nodding your head, yes. So that people will understand what's true and what isn't true. That takes work, that takes people, that takes time, it takes money. And in your country, there's a figure here that they spend money on transport for 11,520 polio specimens per month to 2 national laboratories. That takes money. The transport, not just the cost of the laboratory and the people that are in the laboratory, but the transportation. So there's all kinds of little costs, and they add up. And that's why the amount of money we need is so big. And I think it's important to explain that to your members and to other Rotarians. That's why we need more money. I think that's pretty much it for me. Mark?
Can I give an example of that? Irma and I know Mike McGovern. He's the international chair of the Polio Plus Committee. And I've known him since the year 2000. We were at Pets, and we were both moderators. And we have some people we're both very close to, mutual acquaintances. And he told me a story. He was someplace in Pakistan, and he said to the women that were going out giving the vaccines to the children, and he had a meeting with them, and he said, well, what is it that we can get you to make your job easier? And they said, bicycles. We just need bicycles.
Right.
So he said, well, so we need 15 bikes? He said, I'll get them for you. And he did. And that's the kind of thing, and that's why it's Polio Plus.
Yeah.
And we'll do anything at this point to get it done, because as Irma pointed out, 90% of the children that have polio in their system don't show the symptoms. They don't show the symptoms. So they could come to your area and infect the water system without knowing it. And we have that problem in the United States. We had a case in New York State,
right,
and they traced it back to where it came from in Israel. And they went out and they revaccinated all the children in New York, and where they found it in Israel, they did the same thing. And until we get it down to 0 for 2 years, WHO said we don't have to do 3 years, we could do 2 years. Well, we'll find out if they keep their word. So we can get it done. It's not easy. It's the hardest thing is the last mile, and that's where we are. And it's a very small area. I'm told it's just a few miles whatever that means. We call it a county. So it's a section of both countries, Afghanistan and Pakistan on the border. But it's terrible terrain. When it snows there, it's waist deep snow. I know what that is. I lived in the north part of the United States. In the summer, it's hot and dusty, and the houses can be a mile or two in between them. So it takes more work to do it there than any place else we've been. I want to thank you all for your attention. I want to thank the previous speaker. He did a great job.
I just want to add one more thing about the money that we're spending on this and the infrastructure that we've built to eradicate this disease. That's not going to go away. And that was used in Africa with Ebola, and it's been used for COVID. And I'm sure they'll carry it forward into malaria and who knows what other disease. So it's not going to go away. That money is very well spent. Did you also mention, Mark, the rating on the Rotary Foundation?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. So in the United States, there's this organization called Charity Navigator, and you've probably seen it mentioned on the Rotary.org website. They just came out, I think it was a week ago, and for the 15th year in a row, the Rotary Foundation has received their highest rating. So that should put people at ease and give them reassurance that their money is going to be well spent, that Rotary does not, spend money on unnecessary things or big salaries. The money goes exactly where they say it's going to go. So that's a huge honor for the foundation, and we have bragging rights on that. So it's a really cool thing to say that we have had the highest rating from Charity Navigator for 15 years in a row. That's huge. So that's it, I think. Any questions? End polio. So we're going to have an event Tuesday on End Polio Day from our club. We're going to meet at a local brewery. That's where they make beer. And the brewery is going to donate part of the proceeds for a couple of hours to End Polio. And everybody's invited to come and wear their End Polio Now shirts. We're going to do a raffle and have some good fellowship and celebrate Jonas Salk's birthday, which is why we have World Polio Day on October 24th. Y'all knew that, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay,
Right.
That's your little trivia for the day.
All right.
Thank you.
So,
Rotary Hima, may I add, is the meeting you're talking about, is it going to be online? Is it going to be a Zoom thing where we can join and participate in the meeting?
No, I'm sorry, it's not. We're not that coordinated, I'm sorry to say. Yeah.
It's all right.
If you get the
But
6
it's an
o'clock
idea
plane,
that you
you
can
can make it.
borrow. You could do something similar, maybe.
Well, there
It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah.
We have our own plans too. We have our own plan on we had Rotary Walk awareness of a thing. We've done that at Oshogbo. That was, I think, last week Saturday.
Great.
That was done. So we had an awareness trek, and where we partnered with Ministry of Health to do awareness on polio.
Well,
yeah.
So
Anything you could do to raise awareness and funds, if you can, that's great.
And walking is much healthier than drinking beer.
Of course. Thank you
Not
very
as
much.
much fun.
Mark, PDG Mark, and Hima, we appreciate your coming for this meeting. Rotarians, guests, and friends, is there any person that has a question? Please, I'm not seeing questions at the comment section. There's no question going on there. Please, is there anyone that has a question? If nobody
there's
has
no question, can I just add something?
Yes, please.
Yeah, please add. You can go ahead.
For those of you that will be in Kano on Tuesday, there's a Rotary Foundation dinner to raise funds for polio under the auspices of the National Polio Plus Committee at the Tahir Guest Palace, where we had the pets and DTTS training in Kano.
Yeah.
All the big wigs in the National Polio Plus have already registered for the dinner, and we encourage everyone to register. It's just 10,000 naira. Also, when you are giving to the Rotary Foundation too, you have the right to give to under different distance. You could give to the annual fund, you could give to the polio fund.
Right.
I want to encourage members of the Rotary E-Club of Greater Nigeria, I believe that's your name,
One
under your
Nigeria.
One Nigeria.
Nigerian.
Sorry. Rotary, in fact, we have so many E-Clubs now. I want to encourage all members this year, whatever you are giving, give to polio. This year, in my club, I've given $1,000 to polio to the foundation under polio. And I want to encourage as many people as possible to give something to polio, because if you see what is happening on the field and the results we are getting, I think whatever little contributions but if you cannot give, be active on the field and do something too. Right. Give your time, talent, or treasure, whichever one you can give. If you can give the three, fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Exactly.
much.
We have a
So
couple of questions.
I encourage Rotarians of Rotary Club of One Nigerian. Please, every Rotarian every year is very important, and we want to have more PDG, about PHFs in our club. Coming next Rotary year, we believe virtually 70% of our member, if not 90%, is going to be a PHF, Polaris Fellow. Thank you very much for the well-delivered lecture. We really appreciate your coming, and we do not take this for granted. We very much hope that when next we're calling you.
There is question there, sir, on the chat box. On the chat box. Okay. Someone is also in hand.
There's no question on the chat. I can't find any question there.
Okay, I think I saw one from Mr. Ghanaian.
Yes. Mass immunization day, October 28th. We'll go again on the mass immunization and campaign against polio. Is that the question?
No, sir. Ask Rotary again that what is the Rotary in Nigeria doing to sustain the zero status of polio in Nigeria?
Okay.
Thank you very much, Rotary and Ghanaians. Yeah, that's a very good question. You see, when I was giving this talk, I said complacency is one of the things that if we don't handle effectively could bring us back to where we're coming from. The fact that we are now polio, we've eradicated polio, shouldn't mean that we should just sit down. Now, the National Polio Plus Committee has been doing a lot of work, working with Rotarians and our partners, including the state ministries of health and the National Primary Health Care Agency, towards sustaining this same tempo. So the tempo has not dropped. Rather, we are asking those who have not joined the train to make sure they are also part of us too. On any immunization day, take out time to come out in your Rotary and polio t-shirts or apron, go to the local government office, start the morning briefing with them, and then go out with the team. If everybody does this at the local level, the result at the local government level will be fantastic. The result at the state level will be fantastic. And overall, at the national level, we'll be able to get or sustain the same tempo that we have gotten. PDG Joshua Hassan, the national chairman of the National Polio Plus Committee, is not sitting down at all. In fact, if you don't take time, if there's a challenge in your place, you will see him the next morning. He's always moving around the country and is on top of the situation. I hope that answers
there's
your
another
question.
There's another question, sir, that during Family Health Day, is the district providing us with vaccine? The program, the Polio Plus, I think what he's trying to say is, if the Polio Plus is going on, probably the Polio Plus, are they going to provide Rotarians with vaccine, probably to be doing the vaccine, or our role there is supervising role?
Thank you very much. Now, the vaccines have already been supplied by UNICEF to the National Primary Health Care Program. That's the government partner we are working with in Nigeria. They now distribute to all the states. Each state now distributes to all the local government areas. Now, our own job is to make sure that those vaccines get to those people that are supposed to take it. So on days of routine immunization, there are assigned registers they come collect and use in each center for children that are giving birth to and that need this routine immunization and attend those centers. However, there are some parents that will not come to the primary healthcare center. What happens to those people? We are not to leave them out. And that's why anytime mass immunization is declared through your state rep, you get the notices through your presidents, through different media. As soon as you get the information, your job is as a club, you decide which local government are we going to. Now, since you are in cyberspace, you have to decide which particular one you want to go to. But those that are on ground locally can decide in their wherever they are working and say, okay, I will be part of this group here. And when you get to the local government office, the vaccines are already there, given to them. You follow the team, check what they are giving to be sure that it's good for human consumption. Of course, it will be good, but it's good to check. And then you follow a particular team out and watch what they are doing. When you are tired of that team, you can move to another team. And if you are good enough, my current club president can cover 8 wards in a day. I've seen him doing that. And I like, look, where do you get the energy to do this? And he says, oh, you are older than me, and I still do something. And he goes around touching as many places as possible. And his reports are very complete. Of course, he's a public, has a master's in public health, so I can understand his interest. But you don't need to have a degree in health to do all this. All that is needed is the passion to fight polio. That is just what is needed. So don't worry about the vaccines. These vaccines, materials, the only thing the club can do is to get pluses. You find that PDG Mark mentioned something about Polio Plus. You pick up pluses. You find out what that environment can need. Sometimes my club will just buy sweets, buttermilk, tom-tom, like that. And when we get to that local government, when we just show the kids like this, they gather around. Even when their parents say, don't go out, they just come because they want to collect sweets. And as soon as you are immunized, we give you 1 sweet, you go. Sometimes we go with bar soaps, insecticide-treated nets. We give them things that they need in that particular area. And you see women bringing other people and say, look, this one has not collected. It's okay, bring your son or daughter. And they come out. All those people that are hidden, because of these pluses, you'll be surprised at how many people come out. So your club can devote some money, work out a budget and say, for plus this month, this is what we are going to gather, and you bring the money together and then buy the pluses. And then sometimes it's whistle, just simple whistle. And as soon as you blow it, the kids are excited. And even if their mother is pulling them back, they want to collect the whistle. So with that, you're able to get them immunized. So these are areas where the club can come in and support them. So when you go with the pluses, you're able to do something good there. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Assistant Governor Chami, please, are you online?
Yes, I'm online, sir.
You have the floor. You have the floor. Please keep making contributions.
My presiding president, PDG, and spouse in our midst, PZC Leonard, district and club officers here present, guests, if any. I am Rotarian Charity Brian Dapa. I want to thank our speakers for tonight for the well-rounded lecture. I've learned a lot today. And I want to direct this to the district leading officer. I don't know if I'm being heard.
Yes, I'm hearing you. I'm with you.
I'm directing this to the district leading officer, and it's concerning the foundation dinner that is coming up in Kano. My PZT, sir, I remember about now the foundation dinner is coming. We also have the zonal foundation dinner coming up as well in Ibadan State, in Oyo State, Ibadan. But it's unfortunate that the e-club members are not actually being carried along in preparations and I remember I personally appealed to you during the district governor's investiture and during the pets, if the e-club members could be given the right and priority to attend zonal and district functions. That is for the Zoom link for there to be a streaming line for the e-club members to participate. But it's sad that requests have not been considered. Now the foundation dinner is coming up. Sadly, most e-club members are not, some of them are not in the country, while some are indisposed, and some are likely not to be able to attend the event because it is in Kano and their locations are far from it. I want to use this opportunity to make this appeal once again. As the district learning officer, I know you can assist us in every way possible. If the district can make it available for us to participate in all events by providing streaming platforms. And then I also pleaded then that if, just like now, the registration is about 10, maybe 15,000 naira.
10,000,
10,000, yes. For the zonal event is 15,000 naira. But since we are not attending physically, those that can attend physically will be there. But since most of us are not attending physically, if we can come as a group, as the e-club, make some donations, and then that should form our registration. So that for the basis for us to attend events live, I want to make this appeal. It's a very strong act, and I'm also making it, because it will be sad that the event is going on. E-club members, e-Rotarians want to participate, and they are not given the opportunity to participate. It's actually not fair on us. I am making this appeal, sir. Thank you. And once again, I'm very grateful for the lecture. I've learned a lot, and I know others here have also done the same. And we hope to see you again and again in our midst. Thank you.
Thank you, Rotarian Charity. Yes, we try to work on the thing, but you see, sometimes technology failed us. At the district governor's investiture, we tried, but along the line, I think it was only the Facebook one that was live. However, for this one, I'm going to have a word with PDG Joshua Hassan tomorrow morning, and I'll give you a response. I promise you, I'm going to call you and let you know whatever the response is. We will try to see if we can set it up, and we'll send the link to all the e-club presidents, and of course to you too. And then we hope that you can disseminate the information to all members too. But let's see how it goes. We will try our best to make sure we can. But we also encourage each and every one of you, even if you can't attend, if you can spare 10,000 naira, kindly drop it. The dinner is actually a fundraising thing. It's not the food itself. So if you can chip in 10,000 naira, fine. If you don't want to do that, please pay your 10,000 naira. You can also pay it into this thing. Pay $100 to the Rotary Foundation for under polio for the same reasons. And I think whichever way, your money will still go towards doing something for polio. Thank you.
If I may.
Okay, thank you, my VZT. Also, please, district training officer, I also plead you also put the issue of ROLI also into consideration. I think you can discuss that with the ROLI team and the district governor also. I am confident that we can we'll have of e-Rotarians attend that event. I plead with you to look into this and then give us a favorable response as well.
Rotary and Charity, you can also do me a favor. Design a template and program for the ERLI. Discuss with the chairman. Whatever you discuss with him, then let us know, that we can see. Maybe I will have a discussion with the district governor too and see what can be done.
Okay, I will discuss with the E-club presidents, and then we'll come up with templates.
Something, and then we'll now discuss with the chairman, Raila. Whatever comes out of that discussion. No. Chairman, Raila. Is it Raila you are talking of?
No, I'm talking about RLI, Rotary Leadership Institute.
That one you just talk to the RLI people directly. Forget our district. It's not a district function. It's actually a national thing. Or this you discuss with PDGIO. Should be able to handle whatever issues you have concerning. Okay. I think it will be a very nice idea too, because I've been very lazy to attending one or two districts. So maybe I can do an ERLI. Please mention it to PDGIO. I will also try and mention that to him too, please. Ayo Oyedokun.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome.
We in 40 seconds, let's have a bit from Rotarian Vest. That'll do. Rotarian, are you there?
Okay, I am here. Good evening, my presiding president, the PDG. This is President R.C. Kefi.
Oh,
I want to thank you all for this program. This lecture was wonderful. I learned a lot.
Great.
And I want to also remind us about the polio vaccines they talk about. Some vaccines are already in the local government level, some of the primary healthcare around, but the last time I visited, the vaccine were already in stage 2. So for those that will want to use the vaccine on the 24th, just a reminder for them to check to see if those vaccines are still in stage 2 or they're already in stage 3 where they cannot be consumed. Because a lot of people do not know how to check that vaccine. If you check the bottle of the vaccine, there's a round, let's say a faded purple sign with a square inside, and that square is white, and at the point it can fade. But the situation whereby that cycle is faded and is purple entirely, which means that white is no longer in that cycle, it means that vaccine is already in stage 3. Please, we should take note of that so that we won't administer that to children in the environment. And so also, some people administer vaccines to children who are sleeping already. I encountered that in the field. The last polio activities that took place September 30th to October 4th, I was in the field for the complete 4 days and the mop-up day, and even attended their review. Not only the early morning briefing, the review is very important so that you discuss the challenges faced in the field, the one you discovered in the field for them to take correction. So I was able to discover that a lot of them give vaccines to children sleeping already at the back. There's a possibility if that child is already dead and you administer that vaccine to that child, it's very dangerous. They will hold you responsible for killing their child. And they won't know that that child was already dead before you administer that vaccine. So I will urge us to also remember to wake the child, wake the sleeping child from the mother's back, or if the mother is holding or he or the parent is holding in the hand, wake that child and make sure the child is awake before you administer any vaccine to that child, so that you won't be held responsible for killing a child. And we also have eligible children that comes from stubborn parents. Some parents refuse their children from taking vaccines, deprived the team from administering vaccine, which we took our own time. I personally visited some houses, begging them, educating them. And the problem was some of the team are not well educated. concerning the polio vaccine. They have no knowledge. If you are asking them, what are you giving my child? They will say it's vaccine. Which vaccine? No idea. I remember asking somebody, what is vials? They could not tell me what is vials in the field. So let's try all we could. Anytime you meet a team in the field, educate them more, because the primary level, from the primary healthcare level, they are not doing their work. What they are doing is bringing their children to participate for the token, not the professionals. Most of the people in the field are not professionals. And that is where most of the teams have issues in the field. If I am a parent and you don't know what you're administering to my child, I will not allow that. So whenever we meet team in the field, please, let's advise and still give them more knowledge about
Thank you very much,
the vaccine. And so also, for those that won't be able to go to Kano, Rotary Club of Kefi are organizing the World Polio Day, where we'll be giving out wheelchairs to polio victims on the Tuesday. Thank you very much for this wonderful time, and thank you for the beautiful lectures. God bless you all.
That's a beautiful one from Rotarian Vest Daudu. We really appreciate your time and we really appreciate your comment. Just on this note, I'd like to give my vote of thanks. We've listened to lecture on Let's Kick Polio Completely Out of the World Together, and by Rotarian Leo Igini, and what we need to know about Rotary and polio by past District Governor Mark and his wife, Irma. The lecture, we are now better informed about what polio is all about, what polio is all about, what efforts is Rotary making to ensure that polio is being kicked out completely out of the world altogether. We appreciate your lecture, and we hope next time when we call on you to have presentations or lectures like this, we are going to oblige us. We appreciate your coming. Thank you very much, and God bless. My president, I give the mic. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much for the beautiful lectures. Thank you to our speakers in the house, Rotary and Guinea, past District Governor Mark. Thank you so much. You've always been wonderful, both your speech on Clubhouse and here too. We appreciate you, and also as well as Iman. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. The last time we met one-on-one was in Houston, Texas. And I believe next we're going to meet again in Singapore. Come Singapore, we're going to meet again. Thank you so much for what you are doing. We appreciate all the information you give to us. We appreciate that. And so thank you so much. We are way ahead of our time. We spent a lot of time today, and I apologize to all Rotarians for holding you down. But this information are very, very important, and we appreciate having them. I'll say thank you so much. Quickly, I want to invite my very good brother Oluwatobi Uzain to help us to take the object of Rotary. Once again, I know when we stepped in, I know we have a couple of presidents that came around from Abuja and also from Kefi, and also have my brothers too, and my sister from Maryland 9110 also came around. Also, thank you all. Thank you so much, Rotary Joma, Rotary Vashiti, Rotary Merido, Rotary Maruf, Bidemi. Thank you so much for making it to this, for honoring our invitation. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. And so that some of you as well. There's a link on our chat. Please click on that link and register as you came to this fellowship so that we can send an appreciation to you after the fellowship. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. So that I'm yielding the mic to Lieutenant Oluwatobi Uzain to help us take the object of Rotary. Thank you.
Thank you, my president, the president, district officers here present, distinguished Rotarian friend and guests. Being called upon by the president to take the object of Rotary. The object of Rotary is to encourage and foster the ideal of service as a basis of worthy enterprise, and in particular to encourage and foster, one, the development of acquaintance as an opportunity for service, two, high ethical standards in business and professions, the recognition of the worthiness of all youthful occupation, and the dignifying of each Rotarian's occupation as an opportunity to serve society. 3, the application of the ideal of service in each Rotarian's personal, business, and community life. And lastly, the advancement of international understanding, goodwill, and peace through a world fellowship of business and professional persons united in the ideal of service. Thank you, my president. I yield the mic.
Right. Thank you so much, Veteran Hussein, for that beautiful performance. We are going to skip the AOB. So any other thing you want to discuss, we can take it up next fellowship. So if you have anything you want to share with the house, I know we're going to talk about that of Nasarawa today, but we're going to skip it to talk about it next week. We have our time. I don't want to hold Rotarians down. So next on our agenda now, we're going to the toast. Rotarian Adefem is not here. I can see from that on the screen that he's not available. So permit me to invite my very good vice president, the only Alaja we have in our midst for now. Oh, we have also have Giwa. Okay, let me invite Lieutenant Giwa Ololade to please help us to take a comprehensive toast. Lieutenant Giwa, are you there? All right, if Lieutenant Alimat Giwa Olade can take it, okay, let me go back to my vice president. Vice President Ganiyat, are you there?
My Rotarian president.
Thank you.
District of South in our midst, my PDG, visiting Rotarians, interactors, friends and family of Rotary. I want to give a comprehensive toast because of the time. I want to make it a quick and comprehensive one together. For our visiting Rotarians, for our guests, and our visiting interactors, I want everybody to join me. Shake your thumbs, get your bottles, anything you can use to appreciate them, and say long live to all our visiting Rotarians. Long live our guests. Long live our interactors. Thank you very much. So, Rotary International, that organization that deem me feel that we have to put smile to people's faces. They want to ensure that the whole world is zero polio. And we also put it in our mind that we just have to not donate towards polio only, but we have to put into consideration all the plus. I want to say long live Rotary worldwide. Thank you, my president.
Rotary world over.
Rotary worldwide.
Thank you so much, Rotarian Ganiyat, for that beautiful performance. Next is the stewardship report for today. I know we don't have finances coming in, but we have attendance. Secretary, are you there to give us the number of people that came around today? And
okay, sir.
Yes, please.
The president, fellow volunteers in civil service to humanity. The stewardship reports on attendance, we have 26 in attendance. From these 26, we have 10 visiting Rotarians, 1 single Rotarator, while the rest figure is by the club members. Thank you. Nil income.
Thank you so much, Secretary, for that. It's my tradition for every fellowship. I want to say I saw Rotarian Olakweji Agumbiade stepped in. I want to say thank you so much. I appreciate you for stopping by. You've been a wonderful speaker at one of our meetings. Thank you so much for making it up to today. Thank you so much. For that, from myself, I'll be donating a sum of 10,000 naira for charity for today, for having wonderful speakers. I'm donating a sum of 10,000 naira for charity. And if anybody wants to, supports me, want to help me out, you can put it in the chat. And without wasting much of our time, the time is fast spent. Once again, I'll say thank you all Rotarians. PDG, Mark, thank you. Ayman, thank you. Rotarian Guinea, thank you so much. We appreciate you. are visiting Rotarian from every club. I appreciate you, Lord. It's really wonderful to hang out with you. And then I'm wishing everybody, all Rotarians, everybody, I'm wishing a blessed week, a nice week, a prosperous one. In your environment, look for a polio center whereby we can collaborate, we can join, we can volunteer on Tuesday to vaccinate, to make the awareness, all we just need to do, we might not be able to give that vaccination, but at least to create awareness. Put on your red jacket, even though it's not polio, it's not written on top, but just look at it is red. Feel belong, join the team, encourage the team, and so that at least we achieve the aim. Like what our speakers have said, one thing that Nigeria can be free, yes, but one thing, if we stop it, Rutan Ayman said, if we stop it before we know what it comes up again, people that are in their gym will not show the symptoms. So that is why we have to re-vaccinating people and keep campaigning and everything like that. Once again, I'll say thank you all Rotarians. I appreciate you today. Looking forward to see you next week, whereby we'll be having past district governor Elvis in our midst to visit us, and I'll be looking forward to meet you all, and then have a blessed week, all Rotarians. I love you all from above my heart. Thank you. Thank you.
The President.
Yes. Adjournment.
Adjournment, please.
Yes. Can someone move without adjournment, please? Can somebody help?
President,
yes,
members of BODs, guests and friends of Paul Ari. Having exhausted the agenda of today's meeting, I, Rotarian Ajay Igbe Abdulkadir Olayinka, hereby move for the adjournment of this meeting. Same venue, same time. May God be with us.
Thank you so much. A seconder, please. Seconder. IPP, are you there? President Kadiyat, are you there?
Yes, my Rotarian president. Only Rotarians, I
I'm
second
there, my
the
president.
by Rotary Ajay Igbe to adjourn the meeting till next week, Sunday, same time, same venue. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So thank you so much, all Rotarians. See you during the week. We keep on chatting during the week, and then looking forward to see you next fellowship. Thank you, and may Almighty be with you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Rotary Guinea. Thank you, sir.
Rotary Maru Bello, thank you for coming. You are cited.
So this off record.